Okay, well then, Chris McGarry!
Oh God, all that applause, and I need to fulfill your expectations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Entertain us. We're here now.
Oh.
Here we are now.
Educate us and entertain us. Yeah.
You said
Edutainment.
edutainment.
All right, so Doug asked me to talk a little bit about Americana music, and I won't talk too much. I think it'd be more fun to play, so I brought a bunch of songs that are very near and dear to my heart. But when I think of the genre Americana, it's such a handy genre tag because it's kind of the anti-genre. It's one of the most generic genre names there is, because what it really entails is anything that's American music, but not quite in a genre. So something that's a combination of rock and roll, blues, there's always some gospel influence in there, a lot of country, so it's like, if you like country music, but you have sort of a lower twang threshold, it's the right thing for you. I had a really high twang threshold, like, you know, George Jones, like, bring it on. But, yeah. So, but you know, in the 60s, there was a lot of it. When you think of like Janis Joplin, who took rock and roll and blues, and she had that very blues roots, but was not quite a, you know, 100% blues artist. Or the Grateful Dead, who had some albums that were almost country, but not quite, or almost bluegrass and folky, but not quite. So that's kind of where it is. And then the band, I think, was one of the more influential ones. In that they had some almost country, a lot of heavy gospel and R&B influence. And I think they were really influential for a lot of the bands you hear today. Like I saw the Avett Brothers at Red Rocks a few weeks ago, and I heard a lot of the band in them. And so in the 90s, there was sort of a resurgence of it with Uncle Tupelo, who really, yeah, very good, who had a country rock, but almost a punk rock edge to it. So it was sort of a new thing, and that sound had sort of petered away in the 80s. But Uncle Tupelo brought this sort of thing that it was like if you liked country music, but you grew up, you know, still listening to Nirvana, they were the band for you. So then Uncle Tupelo splits up, and the two lead singers, Jay Farrar and Jeff Tweedy, formed Sun Vault and Wilco, respectively. And Wilco, they were both highly influential, but Wilco sort of was the more popular band. Sun Vault was more of a influence way underground. So, and then that style, and then the advent of Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which Oh Brother Where Art Thou was an Americana album in the sense that it had all these different, you know, there was gospel, there was the work songs on it, there was some of the straight up bluegrass and old time. And so that sort of had a resurgence in the acoustic side of it that we see. And thanks to that, at every gig I've been asked to play Man of Constant Sorrow. I will never, like, I'm being punished because of that movie. I love the song, but at least after that, they don't ask you to play Rocky Top anymore. Yeah. No, nothing against Rocky Top, but there's only so many times you can. So, and then, you know, and then there's also the Texas songwriters who I love a lot, like Townes Van Zandt, who is 80s and 90s, and then Steve Earle, who's making albums that are very Americana, because when you turn them on, you'll hear like a bluegrass song and then accordions, and so it's this great mishmash of every accordion. Yeah. Thanks for that. So you hear a lot of that different stuff. So, and Americana really informs what I do with my band, because we've got a little twang in that. We're a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
Would that be Chris McGarry and the Insomniacs?
Yeah. So yeah, this is a style that's really near and dear. And how it translates to the ukulele, I think our friend Aaron Kime is a really great example of that. He takes a lot of different American folk styles and puts them on the uke. So his stuff is very much, and it's very easily translatable to the uke. So I figured I'd hand out some songs.
Yay, handouts!
Yeah, so
let me help you with that, because I'm
great.
helpful.
You guys hand out a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna pass some this way, if you want.
Look at that, you guys got it all figured out. You don't need my help.
No, you should play along with me this way. So F sharp minor, it's an easy chord. It looks like just a G7 chord that you'd move to move up this way. The key of A is a great key on the ukulele that we don't use enough of, myself included. And the strum pattern, if you listen to the song, it's got a country rock, very driving country rock beat. So I'd do something like 1, 2, 3. Freight train sound there. Song, one of my favorites of his songs. And watch out, there's a second page to it, so you can feel free to tear it apart or set it up. Oh, thank you.
Yay, Tracy!
All right. So here we go. And then after every verse, I call it A section, B section, because the chorus, the words repeat. This has a second section that the words don't repeat, so I can't technically call it a chorus. Getting hung up on semantics here. So after every B section, we'll play the A section as an instrumental, and the accordion would be in there. So, anybody's brother? Kazoo, yeah, great. All right. So here we go. Any banjo like finger picking? Works for this, although it's going to be at a good clip, so brace yourselves. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. All right, so here we go. Let's hang out on the A chord for a little bit, and then once we've got the groove, I'll put the words in and we'll start. The chords move fast on this one, so here we go. So 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. So here we go. Thinking about giving up, just rambling around, making my own highway shoot. Maybe when I walk in the house, and they carry me. so the next one is Ophelia by the band, and definitely shows off their more R&B gospel side. I think all the chords are... So the strum pattern for this would be more of an R&B funk kind of pattern. So something like...